Hey everybody, this is Schmumbler bringing you Siren any percent. Let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, Siren is a brutally difficult survival horror game made by some of the old developers of Silent Hill 1. It's a lot more heavily leaning into the Japanese horror aspect of things, and it also focuses very heavily on stealth, which is something that not many survival horror games did back in this time period. It's also got a really interesting and bizarre story that kind of revolves around like a hive mind alien DNA virus type thing that infects the water. But basically, all you really need to know for the story of this game is we're playing as a bunch of different characters just trying to survive while the villagers around us are becoming these zombie like creatures. That said, there is a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing through these levels, so we will be staying away from the story for the most part, and just kind of going into what makes these levels faster, more consistent, and much, much easier over what you would be expected to do by the game itself. So this level right here is going to be our tutorial level of sorts. It's got several text pop-ups that occur throughout the level that kind of stop the game, cut off all your momentum, but the in-game timer still goes. So we're going to try to skip all of them. So what we're going to do is, we actually just did one there, but we're going to use the game's main kind of gimmick mechanic, the sight jacking, which is what I'm doing right here. What you do with this is you actually look through the eyes of the people around you. And if you do this when the tutorial pop-ups come up, well, the game can't render them, so it just skips them entirely. You bypass that trigger. So we're going to be using a lot of sidejacking in this level. We don't use it nearly as much in the rest of the run. Primarily, you would use sidejacking to kind of plan out the enemy's routes as they patrol the area, try to figure out what the safest path through an area is. But since we kind of already know what we need to do, we just use sidejacking to make sure that an enemy isn't looking at us when we need to make a certain move. Or another thing, you'll saw the blue cross on my character when I was looking through Hisako's eyes. Sidejacking also allows you to determine an enemy's location for a brief period of time after dropping sidejacking, and we use that occasionally to kind of target our aiming to hit an enemy that we otherwise can't see. So this is a pretty straightforward mission. The only real tech is skipping the tutorial boxes. That said, we are going to do a little thing here that gives us a different dialogue option that's just a little bit faster as well. When Hisako stands up here, we're going to flash our flashlight on and off real quick. Otherwise, we would get another little bit of tutorial here, but instead, she thinks that we triggered an enemy to chase us, so she warns us of that. And now here, I get in front of Hisako, but I also stay a little bit behind, because this dialogue that she's speaking now only triggers while you're on the ground. If you climb up too early, you'll actually have to climb back down to get her to do that. But the reason it's important to get ahead of her is by the time she finishes that dialogue, if you start climbing when you normally do, you'll get the tutorial pop up for that part while you're still climbing and you can't sidejack and skip it. Anyway, that's the tutorial down, so now we're going on to our first real level of the game. This one we're going to be tasked with getting across a bridge that has a sniper looking over it and taking our escort partner down to a specific exit of the level. Now, the game doesn't expect you to actually be able to cross this bridge. It expects you to go around and avoid some of the more manageable enemies that only have melee weapons. But if we go to this corner and wait for this guy to turn around, then we can just kind of run straight down the bridge. He won't see us until we're halfway across, and he just won't be able to hit us. So now we just beeline it straight to the exit, and that's mission complete. Alright, and now we're going back to the same area as our tutorial mission, but with a different character. And to me, this is where the game is really just kind of like, alright, you're on your own now. Figure it out. Because it's the exact same path as the tutorial mission, but you don't have your guide anymore. So the game very quickly just gives you free reign and tells you, do it yourself. If you can't, then oh well. So we're going to take a specific line here. That helps us avoid getting shot. If you do get shot, it's not the end of the world. As long as you take the right line, you actually will get knocked forward as opposed to backwards, and that still loses about 2 seconds, but nothing major. But yeah, this is generally just a repeat of the tutorial mission, just faster, and that's it. Alright, this next mission is kind of the first really, truly infuriating level. Not particularly because of any of the enemies, although they can cause some shenanigans. The big issue here is it's another escort mission, but the person that's following us is blind. She can only see by sightjacking us. So, we have to be very specific with our movement, make sure that we never get too far ahead of her, otherwise she'll just crouch down and not move until you come back. So I'm going to have some peculiar looking movement throughout this level. Just know that it's so that I know that Miyako is still following behind. Another thing we do here is I listen for her footsteps behind me. That tells me that she is still following me, even if I can't see her. And yeah, these ledges are a very easy part to lose her at, because if she's climbing a ledge and you take one step too far, she'll go, hey, slow down, and stop until you turn around and look at her. Alright, so now we've got our first weapon of the game. Come on, Miyako. That's it. I said we weren't going to go into too much of the story, but it is a really interesting and deep story if you ever want to check it out. Like, this is a phenomenal game that just never really got popular, mostly because nobody ever heard of it to begin with, but also because of its difficulty. So now we're going to come down here. There's a Shibito over here that we're going to take care of as soon as he climbs up the steps. And I kind of screwed that up. But you can very easily stun lock this guy to death. Now, corners are tricky, so go a little slow, make sure she's following me. And we're going to beeline up here. Shibito's going to drop down from the ledge. And we're going to smack her as she's trying to get back up. Make sure Miyako's still following. Good, come on. There we go. Alright, now here's the most dangerous part of the level. So I'm gonna get Miyako to follow me up to this next little pathway here, have her wait, and I'm gonna dart off to pick up a screwdriver that we're gonna need for a later mission. There's a sniper guy right here that I'm gonna narrowly avoid, wait for him to turn around, and smack him before he can shoot me. There we go. So what makes this level so difficult is these other guys, they can catch up to you. Okay. They can catch up to you before you get to the sniper and mess you up. They can also come after Miyako if you have her wait just a little too far forward and kill her. But anyway, now we're going to have Miyako follow us. There's a Shibito here, but Miyako's close enough that we can just go straight to the end and call the mission complete without worrying about it. Alright, and now we're moving on to Akira, who's probably my favorite character. It's a shame what happens to him later in the story. But this guy is one of the Haneda locals. He's starting out with the rifle, which makes him just way easier casually. We're gonna get through this as quickly as we can by waiting 5 seconds at the start to make a sniper Shibito up ahead not pay attention when we come out of the tunnel. Otherwise, it would aggro immediately and we'd be in a lot of trouble. So now we're gonna come up to this ledge, zoom in, shoot the sniper, turn around, shoot this guy down here, and turn around and shoot the last guy that's gonna try to be coming up the stairs towards us. Alright, now we'll drop down, come over to the right, and this is the path to the exit, but there's another sniper down here, so we're gonna aggro him, wait for him to turn around, and now we're gonna use that leftover red crosshair to figure out where he is and shoot him before he can shoot us. And that should get him. Alright, and this is something that you actually have to do casually. You have to beat this guy in a face-off, because he's got a key to a gate behind him. Alright, but that's pretty much all for that level. Now we're just running to the end. Alright, now we're back to K with another escort mission. There's a lot of those in this game, but we're going to treat this one a little differently. We're actually not going to have our follower follow us. We're going to leave her in the dust and come back for her later, because we have to complete a secondary objective for a mission down the line.
What are you waiting for?
So, see ya, Tomoko. And this is the first time that we really see the game's stamina mechanic. So interesting thing about that is if you rest at the perfect moment right as your stamina runs out, you get a little animation like that, and your stamina completely regenerates instantly. If you stop too soon, your stamina will start to regenerate, but it won't be instant, and you can still run out of stamina after that. And if you wait too late, then of course you slow down and you have a little recharge window before you actually start recovering any stamina at all. So we're going to come over here, grab this rock, and use it to smack this little shrine box. And that opens up a second mission for us, probably halfway through the run. So now we got to go back and get Tomoko. This is gonna be a little interesting. So this path over here, there's a sniper looking down the path. That's why we had to take the long route around. Well, to get back to Tomoko, we're just gonna run past him. And these snipers have 5 bullets. So we're gonna bait out 4 of them. This is important.
What are you waiting?
If you bait out all 5, then it doesn't work. So get him to shoot 4 times. Have Tomoko follow us. Wait for him to turn around. And now we're gonna run up. Pass right by him. He may or may not hit me here. That's okay. And so now that he's wasted his last shot, he has to reload. And by the time he finishes reloading, we can pull Tomoko up, trigger this cutscene, and we're done. Very neat and nifty trick, and that will come into play later on when we do the secondary mission for that level. Alright, this is another one that can be a little tricky for a multitude of reasons. To start out with, we're gonna try to take a very specific path, avoid hitting any of the sides, which is very difficult actually because it's a narrow winding path, but you want to make sure that you're going at top speed when you drop down a ledge. So let's see, like that. You saw the little red. That means that I aggroed the enemy before I dropped down, and that lets me bypass them. And the reason you want to aggro that enemy is that Scream alerts another Shibito down here that would be blocking the path, but now it's not. And I was a little late because I got caught on the guy, so I need to yell to attract this guy's attention. Have him come back, otherwise they'll be in the way later. Bait out the How. And now this guy, we're going to kind of stay on the left-hand side to get him to turn. And we're going to use menu clipping to try to get past him. And there we go. And that's a little too close. Am I going to die? Yeah. Alright, no worries. Death and failure are almost expectations in this game. So let's try that again. Alright. Get the aggro. Hopefully this time don't get caught. There we go. Just squeeze right past. Nice and smooth. That means I won't have to shout for this one. Alright, and so what happens here is I wedge myself between the bridge and the enemy, and when I go to shout, it kind of kills my animation and starts it over. So when my animation to run starts back up, it pushes me just a little bit more forward and lets me clip right past him. So now we restart from checkpoint to get a weapon that we were supposed to have picked up but never did. Attract the sniper's attention because he's blocking the exits. We get him to shoot us once, wait for him to start reloading, and then just smack him out of the way. And that's the level. That skips a significant portion of the level where we're supposed to like start a generator to distract him away from his spot so that we can sneak past him. Very, very nice. Alright, so now we're going to do kind of a similar thing where we have to bait out another sniper here that's blocking the exit again. As I mentioned earlier, snipers have 5 shots, so we're going to bait out 5 shots. And while he's reloading, come down and shout clip our way through him. And that's the level. Alright, now for our first secondary mission. We're going back to the level where Kay is running through that same tutorial area, but this time instead of finding the exit, we need to find Hisako's Veil. So up here, we're going to go to the right instead of down the middle. Dodge that shot. Grab a 5-gallon can. And playing this level is exactly how you would be expected to do it casually as well. So we're going to go down this little side alley, place the can by this building. That'll let us get up onto the roof where the veil is. And that's it. Very simple and straightforward. Now, this next mission, there's ways to manage this easily, and sometimes it just doesn't work anyway, so we're going to take it a little safer, and I'll tell you what I mean by that when I get there. But this is a very dangerous escort mission, so we're going to have our person follow us, come take out this guy, and then there's a handgun guy down the way that we're going to take care of as well. Alright, now this is very important. This sniper has to shoot us. If he misses, then our follower will die. So we get shot, come down here, get her to come down with us where it's safe. Watch this guy until he turns away. Run right past him down to this door. And we're going to have our follower go inside.
What? You want me to go
Now come
inside?
back over here. We got the aggro on him, which is good. Now, normally I would have my partner follow me here, but instead I'm going to come down here and get the aggro for this guy to start out with. It loses about 7 seconds doing it this way, but this is more of a 100% guarantee that the rifleman is going to be aiming at me instead of her. Because if he aggro's on her, he shoots her, and this level does not have any checkpoints. You will have to start completely over. All right, now I'm back for Akira with his second mission on that level. For the first half, this is going to play pretty well identically to the first time going through here. So we're going to, again, wait 5 seconds at the start. Alright, then we're going to take care of these 3 enemies again. Exact same way. And then we're going to bait out the sniper down the tracks. Alright. Yeah, that got him. So we're going to grab the key and open the gate again. But this time, instead of heading to the exit, we're going to take a detour to the custodian's shack. Or conductor's shack, whatever it is. And we're going to grab a pickaxe. Because we're actually going to go through a different exit this time. That's one of the things about this game too, is the story takes place on a timeline that goes through several loops and iterations, where you take slightly different paths and alter the effects until you get a positive outcome, which would be the ending. That's why after some levels you'll see that the game says loop completed. Anyway, we're going to take a short break right here, get our stamina back. There we go. And now we need to complete a secondary objective for the mission after this. Although, not after this, it'll be later. Stop just for a moment to bait out that guy's how. And then come switch the tracks here. So I didn't mention this the last time I had to bait out a how like that, but how that works is when you aggro one of the Shibito, if they don't catch you in the first, I think, like 5 seconds of chasing you, they'll stop and howl. And when that happens, during that howl, they actually momentarily lose track of you, which is very helpful in several situations. There, it lets us sneak past. In other places, it lets us interact with objects when we otherwise would not be able to, and you'll actually see that quite a bit. But we're going to smash the lock on this door, come through our alternative exit, and move on to our next stage and next character as well. Alright, so now we're going to go through the same stage but backwards and with Naoko. And this will be an interesting one because we're going to purposefully get shot at to speed ourselves along. So, go ahead and turn off our light so we don't attract any unwanted attention. Past that so we can turn it back on. And we're going to go a little wide here before we hit the ledge so that this rifleman sees us and shoots us, cancels out the animation, and just sends us right down. This guy can be attracted to us, doesn't matter. We're going to open the door and distract him. And set off the siren. That's going to have every enemy on the map come towards this location, including the rifleman up top. So come over here, wait for just a second so that the rifleman actually jumps down. Otherwise, when this guy howls, it'll actually stop the rifleman from moving, and he'll still be up here and kill us as we're trying to escape. Whoops, that's a bonk. But now that everything's clear, we can just escape and be all good to go. Alright, this next mission introduces us to a new enemy type called the Shibito Brain. And so I mentioned earlier on that this whole infestation is kind of a hive mind scenario. Well, the Shibito Brain is the brain of the hive mind in a local area. So, you kill the brain, you kill all the Shibito around you. For a little while anyway. The Shibito never truly die. So, this mission tasks us with killing the Shibito brain once. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to actually lure it out by firing our handgun. Yeah, there's a specific timing to this. That might have been a little bit too early. Let's see. Walking, walking, walking. And you're running away. Come here. Nope, come here. Okay, good, you came back. Alright, so that was definitely not how that level was supposed to look, but we made it work. And that's all that really matters. Cool, so now we're going back to the level with Tamon, where we're supposed to go across the bridge, escorting the other girl, and instead of doing that, this time we have a secondary mission that doesn't require us to get to an exit, so we can just leave her behind. So now, we're going to go across the bridge by ourselves.
I'm supposed to
Go ahead and take the first shot.
and listen to your voice.
Then we're going to kind of go over here and wedge ourselves by this fence until we can target this guy up here. Sometimes it's a little finicky. There we go. And we're going to try to kill him. Come on. There we go. So the reason we have to do that is because this mission objective is to climb this radio tower to hear a broadcast. If you don't kill that guy, as soon as you get to the top, he will aggro and shoot you, knock you off the tower, and then you die from the fall. We don't want to do that. So take care of him ahead of time, and we're good. Now for the first instance of potential RNG shenanigans. So, halfway through, well, near the end of this next level, there's going to be a time where we have to go find where our follower hides. Harumi can either hide in a bathroom stall or up in this library where we're starting. We're going to leave her here for now because there's going to be a checkpoint down the line where she kind of just magically teleports to us. So we're going to now try to avoid getting shot by this guy. Hopefully we take a good line here. He missed, we're good to go. Alright, so there's Harumi, she's with us. We're going to pick up this key and then sight jack the gunner. There we go. That's important for when to discover where Harumi is hiding. Now, this guy should hit me when I open this door. There we go. So now we need to grab ourselves a weapon. And on our way back, we're going to run into the school principal who has transformed into kind of a boss Shibito. He's got a key that he used to lock us in here, so we need to take him out to get that back. Very nice. Alright, now we're going to come over here, and we're actually going to sight jack the gunner after unlocking this door. And we're going to look for a green cross, which we did not see there while he was turning towards the library. So that tells us that Harumi is going to be in the bathroom stall down on the first floor, which is good luck. It's very good. Now him being in front of this door kind of sucks because I have to wait for him to go down, but that's okay, we'll deal with that. Harumi being in the bathroom stall just means that we don't have to go all the way back upstairs to get her, which actually also means that we're going to be quick enough to avoid the principal reviving and having to kill him again. So, we grab Harumi, book it back to the room where we hid from the gunner guy to begin with, and use the crowbar to pull these boards off. Now, Harumi goes a little slow, so she's going to come in here. And I wait for 3 breaths and then pull the boards off. That gives her just enough time to get far enough in the room that I can complete the mission. So that actually went really well. Now we're going back to the level where we had the girl following us and had to take the sniper bullet to her face. This time we don't need her to follow us. And this mission can still be very tricky this way. So let's see how this works out. We're going to take care of these first 2 guys again. Then there's going to be a little diner that we're going to try to sneak our way into by aggroing an enemy next to it and having him hit us through the doorway. Because there's a police officer Shibito with a handgun inside that is very quick to shoot and kill us. So will he hit us? There we go. Get him. So far so good. Just keep hitting him until he's down. And grab this little ID on the table, and that's perfect. That level can be very temperamental. Very nice to get that first try. Alright, now this one comes down to basically just good timing. We want to aggro an enemy that's going to be patrolling outside of a room at the proper time so that he comes to us without hitting us before we're able to go into our combat stance. So, open the door about here, hit him 2 lights, and a heavy. This subtracts the handgunner out of the side room, so we're going to go ahead and take care of him. Technically, you can stealth through this level and not deal with these guys at all, but then when you leave the house later, they're still alive and will be outside the house and will probably kill Miyako as you're trying to escort her to the level end. And we don't want that, so get rid of him now. So, come up here, grab these pliers. Try not to bonk. We bonked. Alright. So we need to use the pliers now to open up this shrine, because it has a key in it that we need. This triggers an enemy to come up through the floorboards, so we're going to take care of him and go out the way he came in. Alright, now it's just a matter of getting to the exit. Now this is the blind girl, so we do have to be very meticulous with her movements. It's very easy for her to get caught on that doorway there. And that's the mission. And now we're back to the rail tracks with Naoko again for our second mission, and this is going to be quite the doozy. So the objective for mission 2 on this level is to escape as we did, but only after defeating all the Shibito in the area. And right off the bat, we're going to take a different route. We're actually going to drop down here so that we can go down a tunnel, because we need to go into the custodian shack where we got the pickaxe with Akira earlier, because there's a handgun in there, and that's going to be very important for our objective this time. There's also an item that we need for another mission down the line, so we're going to come here, aggro this guy, bait out the How. There we go. Grab a library card from this backpack. Alright, we're going to try to lure him to the left so we can sneak past him. And he got us anyway, but that's not a terrible thing. Alright, and now to head to the Custodian's Shack. There'll be a time during this where my stamina bottoms out, so I'll take a short pause to recover. Or not. Oh, now it's down. Okay. Way to wait until the enemy aggroes. Thank you very much. We're just gonna have to deal with that. And I don't want him to go all the way because then he's gonna block it. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Hope it works out. As long as we don't die, we're good. This does make this a little tricky because he's going to be really close. We'll have to shoot him through the doorway, and sometimes the doorway can block your shots. Alright. Yeah. Yep, that's how it goes. Alright. Go ahead and reload those, because we're going to need at least 4 shots to deal with the rest of the enemies. I missed the key. So technically when you go into the Custodian Shack there, it does trigger a checkpoint, but we can't use it. You know, you would think that I would be able to reset there, restore my health, get the handgun again, and reset all the enemy aggro. Not quite, because if you restart from the checkpoint, you actually lose the library card you picked up, and we need that. So we're just gonna try to go for it. That guy was in a bad spot, so go ahead and just take care of him now. Usually I can kind of just bait him to the side, get him to howl, and I'll come trigger the Siren here. But this works too. Alright, unlock this gate. This is why we needed to switch the tracks earlier. We're actually going to clear out some of the Shibito by just pushing this cart. Now, if the level went better, this guy would actually be towards the back and not directly in my way. But we take what we get. It's definitely not the end of the world. Now that cart should hit everybody along the track. Yeah, they're down. Good. So now we can just take care of this guy. And that should be everybody. I'll probably check once I get up top just to make sure that everybody's down. Alright, we're good. Yeah, so the last thing you want is for you to think that everybody is down and come to the end, and then you see Mission 1 complete. Because one guy just managed to dodge the minecart down the path. But we're good. Mission's done. Onward we go. Now this is the point where we unlock Stage Select. And we're going to use this to cut out a lot of the unnecessary fluff and get to the first ending as quickly as possible. One of the nice features about that Scene Select 2 is when you go to a stage, you have the option to follow the timeline to the next stage or follow the timeline to the next alternative stage. So you can really just zoom across the timeline just using that first little grid of levels. Alright, now this mission had to do some very particular movement there. So you saw I moved forward just a little bit, then had my partner follow me, went into sight jack to focus on the Shibito brain. That's important because that keeps it from running away while I'm doing all of this. I have to be very particular with my bullets because I have just enough to do everything I need to do here. So I'm going to reload here while I wait for her to come here, have her hide. That's going to trigger the secondary objective for another mission down the line. And we're going to come up here while she's discovering that and take care of the Shibito brain. And now, while the brain is dying, we're going to take care of the secondary mission here by shooting the lock on this and opening it up to get an ID. Now we can just wait for the mission to end. All right, now back to Acura. This mission casually is a nightmare. But for the speedrun, it's actually pretty simple. So we're gonna look to the left a little bit, strafe, and shoot this guy as they come there. Now we're gonna go down 3 rungs of the ladder, just so that when we drop off, we get a short stagger instead of a long stagger. Come over to the right, shoot this guy, and now she doesn't know that we're here, so we're gonna shout to let her know. Come over so that she starts following us.
Goodness.
And then the goal here is to go back across the bridge to the exit, but there's a rifleman, so we're gonna casually take care of him from over here. There we go. And go on our merry way. Now I hope you like this level, because we're gonna be doing the exact same level again, right now. The only difference between Mission 1 and Mission 2 here is it gives you a time limit, which is not going to be any problem for us. It does change things up slightly by adding an extra Shibito down by the base of the ladder. So, what that means is we're going to take care of the first enemy, and when we go down the ladder... Hang on, let's get... There we go. We're going to drop down immediately instead of going down 3 rungs. Because now we have an enemy to knock us out of the long stagger. Try to avoid getting hit a second time. Good. And now we just run up here. Shoot this guy. The other guy should be coming up behind us. No. He's going the other way around. Alright, that's fine too. We'll just shoot him while he's trying to climb up. Get her to follow us, and rinse and repeat. Just come over here, take care of the rifleman, and we'll be on our way. Good. That wasn't too bad. So now we're going to move on to Tomoko's first level. We've met her before. She's the girl with the red track jacket that was following Kei way early on in the game. Now we're going to be her as herself. And we're going to try to escape the area where we got kidnapped. Or disappeared, or whatever. Now for this, we're going to take some very dangerous looking clips past some enemies without getting hit. This cuts down this level majorly. You're supposed to figure out a way to get to the cop car, start the car siren to attract all the enemies towards the car, and then go around them so you can get to the end here. But we just kind of squeeze right past everybody and go on our way. You'll see later we'll come back to that level and it'll have a time limit secondary mission. And we just blow it out of the water. Alright, so speaking of Tomoko following Kei, we're back to that mission now. We're going to do the secondary mission, which is going to be quite a bit different. So this time, we're actually going to bait the sniper out at the very start.
What are you waiting for?
Get 4 shots out of this guy. There's 2. 3. And follow. Wait for this guy to turn. And this is one of my favorite things to do in this game. Alright, he hit me again, no big deal. So, when I turn around and go to pull Tomoko up and trigger this cutscene, this actually changes the state of the rifle guy, where he just is 100% unable to hit me. So you see, I'll just stare at him and, hi. Nope, nothing. But, anyway, triggering that cutscene also gets this Shibito to spawn. And this guy's gonna help us out, but we need to wait for him to get where he's going. So we're just gonna kind of watch for him to hit a certain area and then start going after him. That way we don't risk aggroing any enemies that we don't need to. So wait for him to take the Y here. Alright. So now we're good to follow. And the item we need to collect for the secondary mission is actually behind a door that's locked with a combination lock. And the way the game intends you to do this is it wants you to watch the Shibito open the door, thereby showing you the code, wait for him to leave after relocking the door and putting in the code yourself. But why bother learning the code and opening the door ourselves when we can just get the Shibito to open the door for us? So we're gonna wait for him to start interacting with the door, just like that. Run up to him, interrupt him. He's got the door unlocked now, so we're just gonna kindly shove him out of the way and go in. Grab the item. It's not letting us, so we're gonna wait for him to howl. There we go. And that lets us pick up the item. Like I said, when an enemy howls, they momentarily lose track of you, so that lets you interact with items that the game deems unsafe for just a moment. Alright, so now we just head back to the end of the level and call it a day. This guy's gonna try to shoot us again, but he's still got that weird bug where he can't, even if he does manage to shoot. Yep. 100% safe. Alright, now we're back to Shiro. This is the tricky level where I had to like weave my way in and out, do the shout clipping through the guy. Well, we're gonna do something completely different now. And this is probably the biggest source of RNG for the game. So there's going to be a Shibito that's holding a nurse's shoe, and we need that nurse's shoe, but you can't just kill the Shibito and pick it up. You have to wait for him to drop it on his own. And there's 3 locations he can do that. So we're going to go down this path in front of us instead of going behind us. We're going to grab the wrench from this car trunk here. Come to the bridge. We're gonna go 5 rungs down and then kind of veer off to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left. Shout to attract this sniper's attention. Wait for him to turn. And then hit him before he can shoot us. Now we're gonna run to the right, and there's another sniper here that we're gonna take care of. Alright, and now the Shibito with the nurse's shoe follows a specific path with 3 points along the path. Where he drops the shoe is going to be random. So he's going to come to this bush, and hopefully he'll drop it here. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for him to continue down his path to the next spot, hope for him to drop it, and then if he doesn't do it then, we have to wait for him to go to another spot, and then he will drop it. And that can lose a couple minutes worth of time. We got really lucky he dropped it right there, so we're just going to run up to him, aggro him, wait for him to howl, and grab it. And that's the mission. So far, perfect RNG. We had Harumi in the bathroom stall, first trip to the school. We got the best location for the shoe. Now we just got one major source of RNG left, which is seeing where Harumi hides in the secondary mission at the school. First, though, this mission, which casually is very dangerous and just don't even want to get into it, to be honest. Speedrun, it's really simple. So you come up here, sneak through the door. There's going to be a bug sheepy toe crawling on the ground. We're just going to let him hit us. There we go. And then just run on past. So what makes this level so dangerous casually is you only can take one hit. The second hit will kill you. And there's so much area in this level to cover to figure out where this alarm that we're finding is. But, you know, you get hit by that guy, avoid the other one, come down here, set off the alarm, and you're done. And now we're going back to the school. So this level is going to be exactly the same as before, up until we trigger the fight with the principal. Because we'll need to take a detour to unlock a door in the gym. So, come down here. Try to take a good line so we don't get shot again. Alright, he got us, so we're gonna play it safe. Come over here. Bait out a shot and come through. Technically, if you get shot, you can just beeline it to the door and you have a chance of the second shot still missing. But that's kind of a crapshoot. We want to avoid that. So just take the little extra bit of time loss just to make sure that we're getting through okay. And there I went ahead and reset because, again, you know, you get shot twice, you die. So we're probably going to get shot here. Reset to restore my health. Open the door. Probably get shot here. Okay, so he missed. And we didn't get a second shot there, so, no. I'm going to close this door behind me because when this guy doesn't do the second shot, that usually means he's going to try to follow you. And even though the principal locks the door behind him, it is possible for that gunner guy to make it into the gym before that happens, and then you have the principal chasing you down while someone's trying to shoot at you. That is not a fun day. Alright, so we're going to come over here, climb up the ladder. Very easy to bonk here. Very easy. Alright, now we're going to try to hit this Shibito at a good angle so that we can squeeze past it when it's dead. That should work. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to slow down a little bit here just to make sure that the principal keeps following me instead of de-aggroing. And the reason we want the principal to continue following us through this is so that once I unlock this door, I can kill him and it'll just warp me back down to the first floor again. I don't want to climb ladders that I don't need to climb. So now we take care of this guy, and I missed. Okay, let's reset. And I missed again. Alright, I think we got it now. There we go. So, grab the key again. We're going to come over, unlock the door, and sidejack the gunner to see where Harumi is this time. And there you go, she's in the bathroom. Perfect RNG this run. That's really good. Now, he's not moving, so we're just going to come over here and smack him a couple times. Looks like he went in the bathroom, so we'll just go grab Harumi.
Mrs. Ducato, let's get out of here.
Take care of him so he doesn't kill Harumi on our way. And now it's just back to the boards. Nah, just too soon. Alright. And that's that. So now we're gonna still be in the school, but we're gonna be Naoko. Which will be very nice since Naoko has a gun. So mess that up, go ahead and retry. What we want to do is we actually want to hit one of these guys before it aggroes. We'll go with it. So if you hit that guy before it aggroes, then it'll go down in one shot. But I already retried once, I don't want to do it again, so we'll just kind of wing it. There is a point that I usually reload just to pass the time while I'm waiting for my stamina to recharge. So I've got 3 bullets in the gun now. That'll put me at 4, and that should be everything I need, so we should be good. I'm going to go ahead and close this door so they're not down here, since I will only have those 4 shots. Every now and then the bug Shibito will come through that area and be in your way when you go to grab the keys later. And that would require 2 more shots that I don't have the time to mess with. So, reload here. Come up. There's the principal. He's a Shibito brain now, but we're gonna ignore him this level. Take out the 2 bugs. And now we need to grab some tongs. And we're gonna Silent Hill 3 it. No bread here, but there is a key that we need to grab. Alright, take a break here, get a little bit of stamina back. Usually I'm kind of gasping there, and I need to stop there in order to not start walking later on. That time I seem to have more stamina than usual, so let's see how that works. Anyway, we got the key. Now we need to go back to the stairs. There's a little side door next to it, and that'll be our escape route. Oh, hi. You're not usually there. And of course it hit me while my stamina was down, so it's forcing me to walk now. There's the brain coming down the stairs, but he's a little too late. And we're through. Not too bad. A little few rough patches, but nothing major. Alright, now we're back to this stage, but for the secondary mission, and this one can be very dangerous. So, what we're going to do here is we're getting chased by Mina, but we actually need to go the direction that Mina is coming from. So we're going to go through this door, close it, 1, 2, open, and that should trap her long enough for us to squeeze past. That worked out really well. Alright, now just interact with the bed. And that's the mission. So what happens there is if you open that door a little too late, Mina actually doesn't get trapped in the door and will just grab you as you run through. Alright, back to Tomoko now. Now this level is going to be pretty much just optimizing the stamina recharges. So we kind of know exactly when the stamina is going to run out for this level. The first one is going to be right at this ramp up ahead, so we'll take a momentary pause, wait for her to set her shoulders. That's our cue that her stamina's back. Alright, now we're going to run up here and through the gate. Once we hit the ramp down, we'll stop again. Alright, we're good. Now, this enemy here is going to see us, but it's going to completely ignore us and keep walking the other way. No worry there. And now this bridge is out this time, so we're going to push a tree over. And then there's one last bug Shibito in our way, so we're just gonna casually squeeze right by. See ya. Okay, now we're going back to the escape sequence with Tomoko. This is the one that's got the time limit attached to it that we're just going to completely bypass. Let's see. How long does it give us? 1 minute and 55 seconds. Let's see how long it takes. Alright, squeeze past this guy. We got stuck a little bit, so we're going to take a little bit of a wide turn, and he shot me. Okay. Well, we're going to try to make that work. If I get shot here, I'm going to die, but I should have a good line. And he missed, so we're good. Alright, minute 55, remember. 32 seconds. Alright. Alright, this is going to be our last mission with Miss Takato. Unfortunately, she does not make it. Alright, so we're going to grab this lighter, and this level, for the most part, is playing it as you would casually. But we're going to have Harumi follow us. And we're largely taking the same path as Tomoko here. I will take a bit of a wider turn here so that Harumi actually follows me instead of going the long way down that little side path to the right and climbing up. This way we actually make it through here without the Shibito down there catching up to Harumi. So Harumi being a little girl, if she gets caught at all, the mission is just done. It doesn't show her getting attacked at all. So if that enemy would have started climbing up, we would have had to go kill it before it touched Harumi. Otherwise, it would be game over. Alright, come down here. You're not going to come up, are you? Alright, well, we'll just go down to you. Get you taken care of. Alright. Get out of my way, please, Harumi. Alright, now instead of going down the path to the church, we will continue down the path, kind of like when we were playing as Kyoya with the blind girl following us. We want Harumi to be somewhat close to us so that we don't get the little pop-up when we go through the next scene telling us, hey, slow down. And, of course, she's still a little too slow. That's okay. So now we are in a bit of a desperation mode. We have to distract all this swarm of Shibito. So we're going to honk the horn, pour out some gasoline, and guess why we grabbed the lighter. Sorry, Miss Takato, or Takato. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. Alright, now we are back to this level. So we're gonna wait for the guy to step on the glass. There we go. Light, light, heavy. Take care of you. Everything in this level is going to be the same as the first time until the very end. So, of course, we're going to go up and grab the pliers again. Get stuck on the handrail in the process. Good stuff. Alright, now this time we're not going to bonk. Because we already did that once before, and I'm not in the mood to embarrass myself. Alright, now we get to take care of this guy again. Exit through the floorboards, and this is where it's going to change up. So, we need to go into a little side house. But it's locked from the inside, so we're going to turn off the electricity inside. And that's going to confuse a Shibito that is inside. We're going to try to line ourselves up here. And the idea is the Shibito is going to open the door, and we're going to try to hit it with a heavy attack to knock it out of the way so we can squeeze past. Alright, this looks good. Come on, buddy. Nope. Try it again. There we go. And just squeeze right by. And there we go. Alright, only about 5 or 6 more levels in the game now. This one is quite the doozy, mostly because the first 3 or 4 minutes is just waiting. There is no way to speed this game up. Not even taking a risk, because you have to wait for one of the Shibito to drop a key, and that doesn't happen until about 4 minutes into the level. So, we're just gonna kind of enjoy the atmosphere for a while. Went ahead and assigned Sightjack hotkeys to all 3 Shibito in the house. This one, so you got the father and the mother, but the girl is actually Tomoko that we were playing as. So she also did not make it. You can see her kind of just drawing on the floor here. See her trademark red track jacket. Mama's taking a lap of the entire house. She's the one that we gotta wait on. This is a long, long level, and when you are finally able to actually do stuff, there is a little bit of risk involved with sneaking past Shibito Tomoko. I mean, if you mess it up, there's a way you can get past it, but you're going to lose about a minute of time, which is still better than restarting the level and losing 4 minutes of time. Alright, Daddy's done praying. Now it's time to light up another cigarette, so he's going to head to this nifty little lighter box in here. Mama's turned the TV on. That means it's actually safe for us to leave now. Just crouch down, wait for her to start moving again. And like in the escort mission where we were escorting Harumi, if we get touched at all in this level, it's level failure. There is no combat. So we have to be very careful. That said, you can get away with being a lot closer to these guys than you would expect. So, Mama coming into the kitchen. She's gonna look at the cabinet where she's gonna put the key down, and it's gonna look like she's gonna see me, but everything's good. just keep right on going. Look at how close I am. She doesn't care. I'm gonna be right next to the key. Go ahead and grab it. And now that she's chopping, she can't hear anything. So we're just gonna run out, run upstairs. Tomoko is now up here coloring on the floor up here. We're gonna take a bit of a wide turn so that we can squeeze past her. And she should hopefully howl as we're opening this door. That distracts her for a moment, so come through here. She's lost her line of sight with us now and won't follow us. Drop down and make our escape. Except Mama pops up from nowhere, and now we gotta kite her a little bit. So casually, you would be expected to like lead her in a loop around the entire house, but we're just gonna take a really tight turn here and get out of here. And that is extremely dangerous. It's so easy to turn just a little too sharply, and she just catches you instantly. But we made it. Everything's good. On to the next mission. We're going back to the school with Naoko again, and we're going to do our secondary mission. Hopefully the start of this goes a little bit better than last time. We're going to try to get the surprise attack and kill the Shibito bug in one hit. So, aim down. Got it. Alright, so this mission is exactly the same, except we have to stop and grab a book from the library. That does put us into contact with 2 more of the bug Shibito, so instead of just killing the bugs, we're gonna go ahead and track down the brain and kill it instead. Now, I'm fine on ammo, so if that guy comes in later, then it's not gonna be a big deal. I can just shoot him too. We're gonna come over here, reload our one shot to get our stamina back a little bit as well. And if we're lucky, the Shibito brain will actually get stuck on the bug and won't be able to escape into the classroom. Which he did. And I still missed. That's okay, we'll just come in here. Take care of him here. There we go. So once you kill the brain, it still takes a few seconds before the rest of the Shibito actually respond and die in turn. Which is why that one still got in my way. But the rest of them are down now. These 2 in here should be out of the way. Good. Come over here, grab the book. Very easy to bonk on that bookshelf, by the way. And now it's just the rest of the level as we would normally do. Go down, grab the key. Take a break while I get my stamina back here. Okay, good. And home free. All right, 3 levels left. And these 2 are 2 of the hardest levels in the entire game. By which I mean it's the same level, but the start of it is just incredibly difficult. So, we'll hope for the best. The reason this one is so hard is because we have to bait out a sniper to reload and squeeze past him in a certain amount of time, and that timing is incredibly precise. This guy is so aggressive with how quickly he shoots. So we're gonna come up here, cut to the left, aggro the rifleman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get through the door. That's fine. So now we come through here. This will trigger a checkpoint, and we're going to reset. That brings Yuriko with us. That way we don't have to fiddle with her trying to escort her through the sniper. So now we need to grab this. Because we need that in order to get to the end of the level. Now, I got that Shibito down before it yelled, so I don't have to deal with the other one coming out of the house there. There's going to be one patrolling here that we got to take care of real quick. Little sloppy, but that'll do. Right, now. That bonk, I'm fine with. There's a sniper in this area, so if you don't stay in cover, you can have a real bad time. That bonk is a small price to pay for safety. So, we come up here. I'm gonna come over here, wait about 6 seconds for her to come up the ladder, and then cut the boards, and that'll be the level. Oh, just a bit too soon. Alright. Now, Mission 2 on this level is quite a bit riskier because we actually have to kill the rifleman. Because we actually have to grab an item in this first area, and as I mentioned in Naoko's mission earlier, if you reset after grabbing an item, you no longer have the item, even if the checkpoint occurred after grabbing the item. So, we're still going to leave Yuriko behind. We're going to come up the stairs, and this time we're going to veer to the right and deal with an enemy in here. Alright, now we're going to bait out a shot from the rifleman. Of course he hit me. Wait about 5 seconds so that he starts reloading. And yellow it. And bam. That's okay. Like I said, this is a very difficult level, so we'll just try it again. Even if you get this timing perfectly, you have to stop a bit far away from the guy in order to actually get your attack out before he shoots. So, even with perfect timing, it's still a little risky. Alright, let's try this again. Bait out a shot. Hopefully don't get shot this time. Come on. There we go. Wait about 5 seconds. And yellow it. Stop a little bit far away. Turn to the left a little bit because I've had times where... Good. I've had times where I've gone up to him and hit him, and you physically watch the weapon go through him and it doesn't register a hit. And I get shot and die. So, you need to grab this little hook thing. Because we're going to go through a manhole. Now, I got Yuriko following me. Got a bonk here for absolutely no reason. We actually have to kill the lady in here now. Because as I said, no checkpoints allowed. Alright, we don't need the saw because we're not going that way. We should be good, we'll just go. Alright, still gonna take care of this guy. And now there's a little gap between the two buildings here. We're gonna squeeze through there, go to the left to get out of the line of sight of the rifleman.
What are you doing? Hey, wait a minute. We might be...
And there we go. That's all of the hard stuff out of the way. Now we just have to do one last mission with Harumi, and we'll be set. So this is going to be kind of navigating through a labyrinth. And of course, with it being Harumi, if you get caught, you die. So we're going to not do that. All right, so right out of the gate, we're going to have an enemy right around this corner. So we're going to bait his aggro and then come back so that he starts howling and we can just run right past him. Don't want to bonk, so take this a little slowly. Go through there. All right, and there's going to be a lot of those little breaks in the boards that we're going to squeeze through. Now, one of the fun things about Harumi... Okay, I accidentally pressed start there. But one of the nice things about Harumi is when she's tired and she's in her quote-unquote slow animation, she's still moving at the same speed, so we're just not even going to bother with resting. Plus, her stamina is so low anyway. So there's an enemy here, so we're going to walk over, kind of do little buffer strafe here. That prevents us from making any noise, so we can just run past this lady instead of kiting her around the house. Alright, now we're outside. Gonna take a hard right here, go across a bridge without attracting the attention of a bunch of bugs that are up top. Got one last hole to crawl through. Alright, now we just gotta make it up the stairs and across the road, and that will be GG. Time will be coming up, not at the end of this level, but when we see loop completed on the screen. Because we do have a couple of cutscene chapters to go through as well. And time. All right, now we're gonna save because we need the IGT. That is how we compare times in this game. And 56:05, not bad at all. All right, so that's Siren any percent. Hope you all enjoyed. This is a really nice game, and I'm always glad to show it off. But till next time.